And now, from the CFTK-TV studios, this is Open Connection with your host, Robert Pictou.
Welcome to Open Connection. I'm your host, Robert Pictou. Our show today comes to you from the traditional and unceded territory of the Tsimshian people. It is a chemical element with the symbol Al and atomic number 13. It's a lightweight, silvery white metal that is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust. On today's Open Connection, we open our archives to 1988's Alcan aluminum legends.
Already an aluminum giant in Quebec by the end of World War II, Alcan was invited by the government of British Columbia to investigate the hydroelectric development potential of the Nechako watershed, a sprawling network of lakes and streams covering 14,000 square kilometers, lying behind British Columbia's rugged coastal mountain range, almost a kilometer above sea level. Alcan accepted the challenge and the enormous expense, $500 million, more than $2 billion in today's currency. It was to be the largest construction project ever undertaken by any private company in Canada to its day, the Alcan BC project. For Alcan, it would be a massive endeavor, filled with challenging engineering problems. The first was to harness the power potential that lay before them. Only by reversing the easterly flow of the Nechako waters could Alcan obtain the huge quantities of power needed to produce aluminum. But nature's flow was reversed by the building of the Kenny Dam. At the time of its construction, it was the largest sloping, rock-filled, clay-core dam in the world. A massive wedge of water-impervious clay, protected from erosion by millions of tons of solid rock. A man-made dam, firmly placed in the Grand Canyon of the Nechako River. Upon completion in 1952, the dam would raise the water levels at the face of the reservoir by 85 meters. The water lay waiting. The next challenge, to turn the water into power. To do this, the waters of the Nechako Reservoir would have to plunge into turbines at a lower level. But nature stood defiant. The coastal mountain range formed a natural barrier between the Nechako waters and its destination, the powerhouse in the Kemano Valley, some 770 meters below. If the dream was to live, British Columbia's imposing mountain range would somehow have to be conquered. The decision, to drill a tunnel through the mountain range between West Tatsa and Kemano. So once more, man and machine united, and a 16-kilometer tunnel as wide as a 2-lane highway was drilled and blasted through solid rock. The waters then flowed through the mountain tunnel and plunged into awaiting turbines below, a drop 16 times greater than that of Niagara Falls. When the dust had settled and the Kemano project was complete, a huge electrical power plant lay deep inside Mount Dubose. Within this cathedral-shaped structure, specialized engineers worked together to deliver the vast amount of electrical energy needed to produce aluminum. Today, Kemano remains an isolated community, accessible only by air or water. Twice a week, the motor vessel Nechako, a 40-passenger powerboat, makes the 3.5-hour voyage between Kemano and Kitimat, connecting the people of Kemano with the rest of the world. The relationship they have with their surroundings is a special one, for they must not merely exist with nature, but coexist. The surrounding mountains serve as a constant reminder. Since black and grizzly bears are frequent visitors to the town site, a telephone warning system is used to alert residents whenever a bear is spotted in the vicinity. These are truly New Age pioneers, meeting the challenge of their environment with a spirit of adventure. It was people such as these that helped breathe life into the Kemano project, carving out a rugged existence within the confines of nature. Theirs is a unique frontier lifestyle where family and community play a crucial role in their existence. For all its splendor, the Kemano Valley was too confined to house an aluminum smelter, let alone a town site for the workforce needed to run it. Some 75 kilometers northwest of Kemano lay the broad Kitimat Valley, where Alcan had planned to house its smelter.
Open Connection will be right back after these messages. And now, from the CFTK-TV studios, this is Open Connection with your host, Robert Pictou.
Thank you for staying with us. The Kemano Generating Station is a cathedral-shaped powerhouse built 427 meters inside the base of Mount Dubose. It was completed in 1954 and was the largest producer of electricity in the province at the time. Let us return the archives with a helicopter flight to Kemano.
Transmitting the power generated at Kemano to Kitimat would prove to be yet another formidable engineering task. Harsh weather, bringing hurricane-force winds, snow, along with avalanches and rock slides, would pose a constant threat. Some of the best engineering skills were brought in to erect specially designed transmission line towers. High-tension cables now span valleys from one mountain pass to another across some of Canada's most forbidding terrain. A line of pulsing power that leads straight to Kitimat. At the time of its development, Kitimat had the potential for everything needed to locate and operate an aluminum smelter, road and rail access into the interior, an ice-free deep-water port, enough room for a town site, and additional space to encourage further industry development. Kitimat's planners dreamed big. They designed a town for a future population of 50,000, carefully laying out roads, services, schools, and recreational areas. No detail was too small. Today, Kitimat's children walk safely to and from school on pathways unhindered by vehicle traffic. A network of these walkways intertwine throughout the neighborhoods, offering easy access to the community and its services. People have come here from all over the world, bringing with them a rich diversity of cultures and traditions. People of virtually every color, race, and religion live here harmoniously, exchanging a wealth few communities of its size enjoy. With centralized shopping and service areas and a wide range of recreational facilities, Kitimat offers a high standard of living, complemented by the timeless beauty of its natural surroundings. Today, a number of airlines service this progressive community via the Terrace Kitimat Airport, an important transportation link to remote northwestern British Columbia. Not far away from this modern development lives the spirit of an ancient civilization. The native Haisla people, the first to inhabit the valley, still thrive in the Indian village of Kitimat. Located directly across from the aluminum smelter on the east side of the Douglas Channel. The village is now linked to its larger counterpart by a paved road, giving its residents access to the town's modern facilities, while allowing them to retain their unique culture and heritage. Two newer industries located in Kitimat that also prosper from Alcan's commitment to development provide an additional 600 jobs to the area. The first to come was Eurocan, a pulp and paper mill which began operation in 1970. Kitimat's newest industry is Ocelot. Opened in 1982, this $250 million petrochemical plant produces methanol and ammonia using natural gas feedstock. The industrial heart of Kitimat is still Kitimat Works, Alcan's second largest smelter, one of the biggest in the free world, with a production capacity of approximately 270,000 metric tons of aluminum each year. The raw material from which aluminum is produced is called aluminum oxide, or alumina, extracted from a red earth called bauxite through a chemical process at Alcan refineries in Australia, Japan, and Jamaica. Alumina is shipped to Kitimat Works, in the form of a fine white powder. The process of turning the powder into solid aluminum begins here in Alcan's pot rooms in more than 900 pots or cells. Alumina is spread around the pot on top of a crust of solidified bath. Periodically, the crust is broken, allowing the powdered alumina to feed into the pot. Inside the pot, the alumina is dissolved in a high-temperature electrolyte bath of cryolite. Enormous amounts of direct electrical current are then passed through this solution, causing the aluminum and oxygen molecules to separate. The oxygen combines with other elements, such as carbon, and is carried off in a gas collection system, leaving the molten aluminum to settle to the bottom of the pot. From time to time, insulating gases build up in the cell, causing a sharp increase in voltage. Normal voltage is restored by inserting a wooden pole to disperse the gases that interfere with the flow of electricity. The amount of electrical current used here is so immense that the electromagnetic field it creates causes pocket change to cling together as if in the hand of a master magician.
Open Connection will be right back after these messages. And now, from the CFTK-TV studios, this is Open Connection with your host, Robert Pictou.
Welcome back to Open Connection. An electrolytic reduction process known as smelting dissolves the alumina in a cryolite bath inside carbon-based cells or pots. A powerful electric current, which is passed through the bath, separates aluminum metal from the chemical solution, and the metal is siphoned off. Let us return to the archives to see how aluminum gets to the crucible.
Nearly 1 metric ton of aluminum is siphoned from each pot daily. First, a hole is broken through the crust, and a siphon tube connected to a heated crucible is inserted. A partial vacuum is created, causing the molten aluminum to rise through the siphon and pour into the crucible. When full, the crucible contains 5 metric tons of molten aluminum. The crucible is then taken to holding furnaces in one of 2 casting centers, A or B casting. There, the molten metal is again siphoned from the crucible into furnaces, where it is alloyed to customer specifications for casting. Inside the furnace, aluminum oxide forms a coating on top of the molten aluminum. This coating is skimmed off, leaving a pure aluminum product. In B casting, aluminum is poured from the furnace into a continuous mold casting machine. After casting, the aluminum is then frozen into Alcan's unique tri-lock remelt ingots, each weighing 23 kilograms. "40 ingots neatly interlock into a bundle weighing nearly a ton. Alcan's tri-lock design provides a sturdy bundle for easy handling and shipping. All of Alcan's operations are carried out with a careful concern for employee safety, a major consideration in Alcan's $240 million modernization program, which includes a $90 million anode paste plant to provide a cleaner atmosphere. An extensive program is now in place to detect occupational hazards and diseases. The second center is A casting. A tilt furnace that actually tilts is used here to control the amount of aluminum being fed to the molds. The A casting center houses direct chill casting machines, which freeze or solidify the molten aluminum using a tightly controlled computerized process. Beneath the mold table, the ingots are frozen by a series of cool water jets. The molds can be changed to create a variety of shapes and sizes, one of which is the extrusion billet. After being cast, the billets are carefully lifted from the pits and visually inspected for surface faults. They are also ultrasonically inspected for internal flaws. After inspection, the billets are heat treated, a finishing touch that takes place in a $2 million homogenizing furnace, a state-of-the-art electrical unit. From there, a computer-controlled system saws, stamps, stacks, and bundles the billets for easy shipping. Most of the aluminum produced at Kitimat Works is shipped from Alcan's deep-water multi-purpose wharf, located at the head of Douglas Channel. Approximately 70 ocean-going vessels and some 20 barges dock here annually to deliver raw material and pick up aluminum ingots. 200,000 metric tons of finished aluminum has been shipped from this port in a year. Just under 1 million metric tons of material crosses the wharf each year. The spirit of the people of Kitimat is evident, not only in the pride they take in their work, but also in the joy they express in their play. The grandeur of natural surroundings and a wealth of man-made recreational facilities provide an exceptional combination of wilderness and urban lifestyles. These are a hardy people, living in a land that can turn day-to-day life into a sudden adventure. Harsh weather provides a constant challenge to Kitimat's residents, with heavy snowfalls that wreak havoc with transportation. It is no surprise that the Haisla people named this area Kit Elmat, meaning people of the snow.
Open Connection will be right back after these messages. And now, from the CFTK-TV studios, this is Open Connection with your host, Robert Pictou.
Workers from across the world traveled to Kitimat to build the Alcan smelter. The community was planned by city planner Clarence Stein to facilitate an environment that would attract and retain workers. In this final segment of Open Connection, let us return to the archives to see why so many newcomers call Kitimat home.
In spring and fall, the rain comes. At times, it seems like it will never stop. But when the sun finally does come out, so do the people of Kitimat, enjoying an endless array of outdoor activities in one of Canada's most beautiful natural settings. The residents of Kitimat have developed a strong sense of community here, their pioneer lifestyle pulling them together as one people to face the sometimes harsh realities of their surroundings. It is a way of life they have come to enjoy. Plans for more roads, subdivisions, and services await the day when other industries find their place in the economic fabric of Northwest British Columbia. Kitimat and Kemano were conceived for a generation of power. And now, nearly 4 decades later, the pioneers that came to build a future here have given birth to the next generation of pioneers, the citizens of today and tomorrow. This is the story of Alcan and its people, at home in British Columbia's Pacific Northwest.
people hoping to see work start up again on Kemano completion, none were more anxious than the laborers who actually might find jobs at the Kemano site. So last week's announcement by Premier Harcourt that the project was dead hit them very hard.
We're devastated. I think most people were shocked when they heard that that project was canceled. We're trying to regroup, and it's not over yet. We're going to organize and keep organizing, and hopefully they'll hear us in Victoria.
They certainly heard them inside Helmut Giesbrecht's office, and when the MLA ventured out to meet with the protesters, he got an earful.
We put it out, but first, you guys have to straighten your act and be concerned about the people in British Columbia and about the people in the north. And this is your constituency, Mr. Giesbrecht. I think you should stand for us, not being against us.
I'm not against
two faces, one face with this, another face with that.
Is the NDP going to go with the Rivers Coalition and shut down Kemano completely like they want? Are you guys going to let the Rivers and Rafe Mayor shut down Kemano completely like they want? That's one question I want to ask you. Are you as the NDP government going to let them do that?
No.
Sure you do.
Nobody's ever said we're going to do that. No, the answer is no.
What about the future jobs that are going to come here? Are we going to work on them? Are the British Columbians going to work on them? Or are out-of-province workers going to come in and work under these so-called rat unions?
Organizers were expecting more protesters than this, but they say perhaps some people have simply given up and are preparing to move on.
They've sat here for the last 3 years waiting for Kemano to reopen, and a lot of them have said now that they're ready to put their houses up for sale and move on, because they just can't survive here. Every time that a project comes to this area, it's cut down. We had Letcor over here at Kitimat, and they've, in my mind, they've give our jobs to the Albertans. And we
Methanex expansion.
At the Methanex expansion, that's right.
As for Giesbrecht, the provincial election looming, he admits the timing of the announcement wasn't great.
You have to take it as it comes. Most of this job is a roller coaster ride anyway, and sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down, and it's sometimes breathtaking and you'd like to get off, but I'm not about to quit. If people want to express their opinions on election day, so be it. But what are the other options? They're going to have to weigh this decision with all the other stuff. And then they'll have to decide what kind of a province they want, and with all the other issues that are involved as well. But it would have been nicer not to have to deal with this.
John Crawford, First News, Terrace.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Open Connection. The greatest distance in the existence of man is not from here to there, but its connection from his mind and heart. If we can conquer that distance, we can soar like an eagle and realize our immensity within. I'm Robert Pictou.